dodging like strays. Climbing out the gutter, I am real like the phrase. Wrapped in shadow, but they shine like noon. For hearts beating, sink, break the.
All right, welcome to another episode of the King's Effect podcast. I have a very special guest with me today. His name is Calvin. He does mental health. Calvin, what you do, how you got into your field, and we're going to get into like how mental health has evolved over the years in general. So just kind of introduce. Thank you again.
So again, my name is Calvin Woods. I am the founder and president of Black Men Evolve, so that's what's right here, which is a student organization at Indiana University Bloomington. I studied counseling and child adolescent mental health. And how I got to that major, how I got here, I actually came into information systems major. And so I was studying information systems in the business school. We do business and technology and stuff, kind of just chasing what I actually was passionate about. And then freshman year is when I started this organization. And so what we kind of do in this organization is so our main focus is, we have like kind of four main focuses, which is mental well-being, leadership, professional development, personal growth, and unity amongst Black. And so that's my freshman year, I think like within the first like month of the school year. And so navigating and organization for a couple months, I ended up changing I changed it from finance like a month into school. So and then I did that for like maybe all the way up my freshman year while running BME. And then I just knew that it wasn't for me. It wasn't like something I solely wanted to focus on. I do love the business world and the business aspect of things. I just knew I didn't want to sit behind a cubicle. I crunch numbers every day, all day for the rest of my life. So I wanted to do something in the mental health and therapy and like counseling and stuff, which is still a possibility, but I was trying to find a major in a way that I can like kids as possible, particularly high schools, and reach them. So when I was searching through all these majors, I found counseling and child adolescent. I was in the school education, and so I wanted to do behavioral specialist, behavioral intervention specialist at school. So working with kids from troubled backgrounds or just deals with behavioral problems, at home problems, and things like that. Then after doing it for a little bit, I got the crazy school principal. So since I was already in the school education and stuff, my track, like the way it is, I could do that. And so that's actually what I'm planning to do. Straight out of straight out of college, go get my work in behavioral intervention specialist and stuff for a little bit, and then go to become a principal. Yeah.
Well, we thank you for doing that, because it's really valuable work in terms of the Black men having like role models, so they end up in jail, or they have somebody as a support system. Because worked in Cleveland schools. I have worked in like Cleveland school districts, and particularly among Black students, Black guy students, and they've go through issues with like abuse, go through issues with maybe don't have neighborhood that they live in. There's a lot of gang banging and stuff like that. As being a real specialist, one of the things that you kind of see among your students, like what some of the issues that you see as prevalent that you can probably help them with, so they don't end up on the right of the spectrum and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'll just reflect back to like what I've seen a lot. Anger management was probably the biggest ones. And so that's something I would particularly want kind of have that specialty in, and just identify their emotions and kind of feeling their emotions in a way. So being able to acknowledge what they're feeling, patterns of why you feel this, or what is triggering you to feel, so that they're able to look back or be able to just know, okay, when I feel this, I know that I'm about to be like turn it. It's about to turn into this or escalate to this, or when people this particularly, that is what triggers me um, to crash out or lash out, for lack of better words.
Yeah. Yeah, that how to be able to manage your emotion, particularly because I don't get expelled because they fight, think they're right. Kids today, they're really, really, really bad,
Yeah.
and more that they can identify. Turn the conversation now over to like just Black men's mental in general, not in the school system, but just like even outside or college. What are some of the stigmas that you see among the Black men community? That they do they not get help with, or do they not really, particularly among Black men that's kind of
It all goes back to just Black men are raised, just being raised as, you can't really out what you feel. Um, and that goes across the board with a lot in general. A lot of children like weren't able to talk about or express or going through, um, especially in the Black household. But for men specifically, cry. You really could. Um, Men,
mm,
growing up, you're told men don't cry, men don't emotions, and so that just it all, it trickles down the line. It follows you way to your ears, and so when you get old, you don't. It's the same thing. You don't open up. You don't know how to acknowledge your emotions. You don't even know what you're feeling. And so when it goes to therapy, growing up, also you don't see very many. You don't see your parents go to therapy. So people around you really going to therapy. Um, and then also the stigma behind therapy that means that you are crazy or
mm,
that you this like sick mental. It's just a negative thing about therapy, and that's something that even I believed. While like if somebody recommended me to therapy, I would look at them like they was crazy, and I'd be like, "There's nothing wrong with me.
yeah,
I'm not crazy. I'm not this or that." But it took. I don't think I probably my freshman year of college, honestly, before my freshman year of college, that summer coming in is when I was able to, actually think about like, okay, you don't necessarily do anything to go to. You can literally just go to therapy as an outlet, um, just a way to express, to have somebody that will sit there, not talk over you, just let you get all your thoughts out. And so I think that's where it all comes from. It comes from, and it just keeps, and it's a repeating cycle. So our parents, maybe shutting us out, their parents shut them out, and their
mm,
parents shut them out, and so it's like a repeating cycle that has bloodline. And but I do believe that more open
mm,
space like are moving are opening up and to see a lot more casts like conversations like where Black men are expressing themselves a lot more.
yeah, yeah. I do see that as well. It's a lot of podcasts nowadays that's mental health or Black men's mental health. Like for me, my example. Um, what I notice a lot though, that probably never getting affection, and I never, it never came through as love. It always came through as hate. His father, which is window, a two-story window, and I think that played a role in me as a child, because all he knew is tough. When you all you know is tough love, how can you show your child, which is my father, love? How can you, you know, um, have any empathy? How can take care of your children? So, and so that's why I'm a big advocate still in therapy, because I know firsthand that it can help you. And it doesn't, and it also goes back to that point of like, just you don't have to go there because you're having, a per se an issue. You can go there because you want to, just say how your, week was, just kind of manage your emotions better and have some men, women are expressing, we're a little bit more secluded, and we don't really that's on our mind because we have to, because of the society pressure of just like, and don't show those emotions because that makes you less of a man. But I think it's more important to show those emotions, know that, hey, I'm not alone. I go through exactly what you went through. And So that kind of brings me to my next question. Um, do you think that more men is going to get more? Do you think it's going to like backtrack in the next year? Do you think it's going to more of a movement for, mental health in general? Do you think it's going to, with the state of our economy, like, do you think it's going to, people are going to keep holding those emotions in until they, do you think it's
Nah,
move forward?
yeah, I think we're moving. I think we're moving in a good direction. I think there will become a time where a lot of men, a lot of men in general, but a lot of are going to go to therapy, or even maybe not even just therapy, but um, maybe just group sessions. So something that we do here with BME Shop Talk, it's
Okay, I know
yeah,
that.
it's once a month, and on a Sunday that it's only men can come. And sometimes we have a barber there giving out free haircuts to whoever wants to. We have food, and we literally talk about anything. One of the last things I remember talking about was maintaining like healthy relationships and emotional like regulation and regulate emotional intelligence and stuff like that. We sit there about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We don't have a time limit. We sometimes football season when it was really fully in effect. We have a game on and we're just watching the game, talking, and it can be about um, up to about 50 men in there just being vulnerable. Obviously, there's going to be talk and share, but they
Mhm.
are reflecting off of just what we're talking about. And it's a step forward that they're even there, whether they say a word or not.
Okay, so it's like
Just them
other
being in
forms
the
of
space.
therapy that you don't have to
Yeah,
pay. Yeah.
yeah. So even though people might not go sit on a couch on one with a therapist, there lets other spaces that people can uh, be in that'll help them or identify certain things. And we bring in guest speakers and that we literally just had on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday we call family dynamics.
Mhm.
This one we opened it up to everybody, so women, men, anything come. And we collaborated with our Black Student Union, and we brought in a guest facilitator, Dr. Jacoby Williams, which is the head of the triple African and African American Diaspora Studies program here um, at IU. And we talked about the history that comes with the Black family. Um,
Mhm.
and back in slavery in early 1900s, late 1800s, on how separated and how that affects us even to this day. We talked about different dynamics of family structures, in the way how maybe, how we're all raised different, how everybody is different, and how really ultimately shape who you are. And so people were able to identify reasoning and have closure on why they are the way, why maybe they're more closed off, or why maybe they are more expressive. Um, and will be able to identify a whole bunch of different things about themselves, like this was a big event. So I think like even just little things like that, it's not necessarily therapy, um, but it is on even a licensed therapist in the room,
Mhm.
um, and it's not a one-on-one conversation. Our express, we're just having the platform and having the space to express yourself, or just listen to others and receive what other people are saying, um, and to be able to go back and reflect. Uh, that I think we're moving into a good place. Actual health now than I ever have in my life.
I
People
also,
are in tune.
yeah, I also think so too. But as we wrap up, I kind of like just say something really positive because there's a lot of struggle in the world now. It's cool issues and stuff like that. But it's a lot of men that's dealing with homelessness, a men that is dealing with suicidal thoughts. There's a lot of men really going through it, including some of my friends. We always have discussions about what's going on in our lives, and you know, what is some like words you can kind of like give out to the people that's really going through it right now? Well, I mean, they don't have to go to therapy, but just like some of the, some that has helped you in your life kind of navigate life challenges.
Uh, um, me, um,
Men that's kind of going through it, things that they can, or obviously can still be, situation like in the loop because it's that power in brotherhood. I
yeah,
believe that. Um,
that's the best first step. Connecting with your friends. That is
mhm,
that is a one, because your friends are they know more about you than knows, and
mhm,
so that space with your friends is huge, and that will lead to a lot of growth. Me and my friends, we sit around, we get together. I have a friend group of about 13 of us, and we
Way
intentionally
bigger
get
than
together.
mine, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
it's big.
My circle's
Um,
small.
yeah, we get together once a week, and we sit around in this living room that I'm in, and we share at the end of the year. We reflected on our year. We talked about what we learned. We talked about what we want to get better at in the next year. And it's just simple conversations like that that you unnaturally can have unnaturally, just you're sitting around, you're just talking, that you can have that really can help you. And so I would just say confide in your friends first if you feel you're not obviously comfortable to do that. If you do therapy, um, go try it. And if it don't work, therapist, things to cast like this, and live that discernment though, obviously,
Mhm.
for what's for you, um, and kind of learn from these conversations. Talking, you're sitting behind the screen, watch a simple conversation just like this. Um,
Yeah, I think when
and
we
I,
get into our second season, I'm gonna have to talk with my other co-hosts too that does the show once a month. I'll be talking. We're gonna be opening up with like live streaming, so other men can come in and campaign about the topics that we talk about. But that's the reason we're just starting, so we want to keep it really short and simple. Have different all men's. We want to have different men of all walks of life to come
yeah,
in and their experience, because as they say, it's numbers and powers, and being able to hear other men's about their experiences. Hey, I identify with that person because he went through what I'm going through now, stuff like that. So I really do thank you for coming on here, Calvin. I appreciate what you're doing as a men's adolescent, counselor. We really appreciate for what you're doing. That's going to be a lot of to stay on the right track and not end up as a tick. Hopefully, shot up like that. We really do appreciate the work you're doing, and I want to, and hopefully more continue to step into mental health to kind of, help men along the life.
Strays, climbing out the gutter, I am real like the frame. For